happening in Washington. The Tea Party has become a force to reckon with, but what about here in Connecticut? We'll find out next. Or denied, the Tea Party has taken on the motto, "Don't tread on me." They are backing some high-profile candidates across the country, but what are they doing here in Connecticut? Ron Wilcox is here from the Tea Party Patriots. I understand there are 60 chapters across the state.
That's very correct. Sure, it is correct. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning. Thank you.
On your show. I think it's great that you're acknowledging the movement in Connecticut. We do have a very vibrant movement, and I represent the Tea Party Patriots. That's one segment of Tea Parties. On a national level, we have about 3,200 chapters. But in addition to the Tea Party Patriots in Connecticut, we have another 30 or 40 other types of Tea Party groups, and we have a grassroots alliance. So we do have a very vibrant movement in Connecticut, and we have made our marks on politics in Connecticut.
Well, it's funny because, you know, as we're aware on the national scene here in Connecticut, there's certainly some mention of the Tea Party, but it really became an issue, I think, for many people who came to the front burner with the flag and the issue, and then I think people started to realize, oh, there are Tea Party members here. You certainly have tapped into people's desperate feelings about government and what's being done with their money.
Well, if you think of our movement, it started in March of '09, and a lot of people just realized that there's a lot of things going wrong in our country, and weren't informed and weren't getting the right information. So as more and more people were being hurt by the economy and other things, they started getting more involved, and as they got more involved, they realized the people that we elect and we send to Washington really aren't looking at, after our best interests. So one of the things that we do is we try to educate everybody. And over the last 2.5 years, we have made a presence in Connecticut. We've been on street corners with Gadsden flags. We've had a number of successful rallies in Hartford and New Haven on tax day. In fact, in '10, we had about 10,000 people show up between Hartford, New Haven, Norwich, and New Milford. So we're very active, but we're taking it to a different level at this point. We've had our time with waving flags. We've made a mark. People know who we are. And now we're trying to get involved in legislature. We're joining town committees. We're running people as candidates, not under a Tea Party party, but within the Republican Party or the conservative element of the Republican Party. We do have Democrats that like our views. Basically, we have 3 core values. A lot of people misunderstand what the Tea Party is about. We try to stay off of social issues. But if you think about tea, it means taxed enough already. And certainly in Connecticut, we're taxed enough already. But our core values are very simple. It's to protect our constitutional rights and to protect the Constitution. It's to limit the size and the power of government and the amount of intrusion that they have in our personal lives, and it's to promote free markets. So if you take those core values and you spread them out, I would find it difficult for anybody to not look at that and say, yeah, those are good values, and maybe we should look a little harder what the Tea Party's doing and what they're trying to accomplish.
Do you consider yourself a more conservative version of the Republican Party or your own separate identity?
If I look at the cross-section of people in the Tea Party, we have people that are libertarians, we have people that are unaffiliated, we have people that are conservative Democrats, but I would say a majority of us are conservative Republicans. Personally, I'm a conservative Republican. And when I look at it's not just looking at the Democratic Party. When we look at the Republican Party and we look at the people who are representing us and we look at how they vote and we look at the mess that we're in. And in Connecticut, we are in a mess. And I mean, people hear about it, they see it, but until it actually affects you personally, you may not know how deep the problems that we have are. We have a $3.2 billion deficit. We just had a budget passed by our elected officials of $1.8 billion. There's 77 new taxes, and trust me, that's going to hurt people. We have seniors that are on fixed incomes that have lost the equity in their home. Their 401s have tanked. Their home, the value of their home has dropped by as much as 25%, and they're struggling, and they're looking to move out of state. As you mentioned earlier, we have students that are graduating. They can't have that can't find jobs in this state.
Yeah, I think it's 55%.
So, and look at our industry. Look, we've lost our manufacturing base. We're losing our service base. This is the only state in the country where we've had 20 years of zero job growth. So I think if you look at what's happening across the country, well, maybe you're not seeing it as much in terms of how the Tea Party reacts in Connecticut. But think about this, when Malloy's budget was being voted on, with all of our efforts, we came 3 votes shy in the Senate of stopping that budget. So yes, we do have a presence in Connecticut.
Politically, I think on the national level, some candidates have embraced the support of the Tea Party, some have backed off on it. The Tea Party has certainly been criticized by being not cooperative or making it very difficult to reach an agreement in Washington. What about here in Connecticut as far as candidates? Have you reached out to them? Do they seem to want your support?
Yes. It's kind of funny because it's a little bit different going into 2012 than it was in 2010. We are now a force. If you're running on a conservative ticket, you're not going to get elected without the support of the Tea Party. Do we actually have candidates? No. Our philosophy is if we stick to our core values and we make those known, the right candidates will find us. We're not out looking for candidates. On a state,
so you would not endorse any candidate?
We don't endorse. There may be some groups that will endorse, but Tea Party Patriots is a 501c3c4. We do not endorse candidates. We are not a political entity. We're an educational entity. If we bring enough information to you, we have enough forums, we have the candidates that are able to speak in front of you, we're trusting that you're going to make the right decision. If we tell you what's going on in our state legislature, if you see the bills that are being passed, you're going to have enough common sense to say, wait, I don't like this bill. How does that benefit me? How does it benefit my children? How does it benefit the future? So again, we're not out there to pump up candidates. Now, that's not to say you're not going to find candidates that are going to say, hey, I'm a Tea Party candidate. And they do it all the time. And on a national level, they do it also. And a lot of these people do have our support, but they don't have our endorsement. We're not a political party. We're a movement.
I know we're running out of time, but I wanted to quickly ask you, where do you see the Tea Party 5 years from now here in Connecticut?
I would hope that we've done our job and things would change. I would hope that we would have more a conservative element, representing Connecticut, and I would hope that the overall tax and spend philosophy that our state and our federal government has had over the last 8 or 9 years comes to a stop. If that happens, and more people get involved in government, and more people watch what's happening, they keep their eye on the cookie jar, there really won't be a need for a Tea Party. So we're basically, we're a watchdog right now. We're keeping our elected officials accountable. We're paying their salaries, we're paying their expenses, we're giving them huge staffs, paying all of them their salaries and their benefits, paying their travel expenses, their vacations and everything else. Well, you know what? They work for us. It's time they start working for us. It's time they start doing the right thing. And I think things will have a way of...
We've run out of time, but I hope you'll come back.
I would certainly like to, and thank you for allowing me to come on.
Thanks for being with us today. I'm Susan Rapp, inviting you to join us here on Channel 3 next Sunday morning at 11.